Let's get started. Hello, all, and welcome to the CUE at UMD podcast. Today, I'm with a guest a little different than normal and with a different perspective than the previous that I've talked with. Her name is Vibha. What's your last name? I haven't even asked you.
It's Hosur. We actually don't have last names, but that's what we have named it now for now.
Gotcha. Okay, so I'm with Vibha Hosur. And yeah, so tell us a little bit about you, yourself, and your background, where you come from.
So I am from India, Pune. My parents are from Bangalore, and it's very different from here. But yep, and I am currently in 11th grade, which is junior year there. Am I right? Yep.
Correct.
And I've been studying science mainly because we have streams here in India, so that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
And I am currently also partnered with one of the cultural, um, teams from India, which is what I'm doing right now. That's it. Nothing more than that.
How did that come about? How did you find out about the cultural entrepreneurship and
Oh, so
yeah.
when I did the course with UMN, I was like, this is so good. Like, it's like your your whole, the way of thinking is like it changes. It's like whatever you were
Hmm.
thinking was like so into the box, inside the box,
Hmm.
and now you're like, there's so much more to it. So
Yep.
I researched about these small groups and stuff, and I found one in Mumbai, which
Hmm.
is very close to Pune, and I recently joined. So we're working on a project where we can, make up a huge team and start up something good. We're trying to find ideas.
Amazing. So yeah, so that you're not talking about the creativity cohort that you joined, or with UMN, or you are talking about the cohort.
No, that's different. This is different. Like this is like something we're planning to do, but we're not sure. But it's it's really like a good start. So I just thought I'd mention.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I'm aware you're in the creativity cohort put on by
Mm-hmm.
UMN and Aparna Katre. Um, what did you enjoy most about that? And yeah, just give a little summary about that course.
Mm-hmm. So the course was mainly about learning about different cultures, how things are different from where you are and from where others are. And now that we're Indian is like oh huge, like it's on the western part of the world, and America is eastern part of the world, sorry, and America is on the western. So it's
Hmm.
like two whole different cultures and two different things, and they're like so many assumptions about what those people do, what we do. The whole course was like basically that you get to know about the other person and what things they do, what we do, and um, with the whole cultural, shift and like how you talk. Also, we learned about like how things work, like uh, how different minds work. Like obviously, we have been through a different system of education than Americans, so it
Hmm.
was like a huge, like you could see the difference on how we think and how they think. So the whole course was about how to think outside the box and how to think through other people's perspective to get stuff more organized and more better
For
and
sure.
different.
Would you say that just the fact that everyone involved has a different way of looking at things, has a different background, and that's what made it really fun and
Hmm.
educational.
Yes, that's exactly
Yeah,
what I meant.
yeah, definitely. What draws you to that cultural entrepreneurship um, type of thinking? Just the way of thinking that you're speaking about.
So, like, I loved about like what other countries are, how are they, how do people live there, what do people eat since the beginning, and I always wanted to go abroad and explore, but I never really got the chance. So when I came through this subject about, you know, how people culturally exchange their mindsets and what they're thinking on particular things and how they use it, and on their daily basis, and the whole fact that they are actually building something out of it and making, like, everyone needs the street intelligence and stuff, right? So it was all about using all of this into that, and it really, fascinated me. So that was like really cool. So I was like, this is what I want to do.
That's awesome. So I never heard someone refer to it as street intelligence, street intellect. It's so true though. Like I've never even thought about it like that, but it's so different from like
Yeah, I'm sorry.
you're good. You're totally fine. As I was
Yeah,
saying, it's the way of thinking. It's so different from like the standard education that most people get. I guess it's so different. I never really thought about it until I discovered it in college. I
yeah,
never thought I would be doing something like this. Um, I just thought I was gonna do like the typical college, like you get a degree that's like a well-known degree, and then like you
yeah.
just
That's
go and work
exactly
a
the
nine to
reason.
five job.
Yeah, that's exactly the reason I was, searching about what are, like, the different opportunities I'll get, and not do the same old engineering or doctor, or
Hmm.
you know the same basic things. And this is what I found. I was like, wow, this is interesting.
Have your like does your family like do they enjoy or do they like think what you're doing is like appropriate or do they want you to do something else? Do they
So,
like what
like,
you're doing?
my family, they're not like, you have to do this or do that for
Okay.
now, because, like, I still have a lot of time to think about and get to the point where what I actually want to do.
Hmm.
But the only thing they say is that if you're doing something, you should just be the best at it, because it is it's a fact that in this world, that if you're not number one, then you're nowhere.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, you're nobody. It's very true.
So
That's a good
that's like,
mentality.
so they're just like, whatever you're doing, just stick to it and
Just
go with
strive
it.
to be the absolute best at what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all you can.
So, like, in the search of doing, or sticking with something I want to do, this is what I got. And hopefully, maybe I will stick to this, or I don't know.
So you
But
mentioned
at least,
you mentioned science though. So like what do you mean science? You were studying science or like that's the field of interest other than cultural entrepreneurship?
okay.
Explain to
So
me that.
here, after your 10th grade, you have like streams you can choose for. Like, you can go for
Okay.
science, which is physics, chemistry, math, or physics, chemistry, bio, or all the four of them,
Okay.
with English as a language.
Yep.
Or you can go for commerce, which has like accounts and economics and stuff.
Mm.
Or you can go for arts, which has a whole different field, which is like, you can choose your own subjects according to that.
Mm.
So the people who want to study in India, like continue studying in India,
Mhm.
they would choose one of them. And after studying for 11th and 12th grade, we have entrance exams for that, like the
Mhm.
particular field you want to go in. And
Mhm.
then through those entrance exams, we have like our colleges. Unlike for like SATs, you just give one and you can go anywhere you want, right?
Mhm.
So here it's like you have to choose what you want to do and give that particular entrance.
Mm.
And
Wow,
then,
so after 10th grade, you're almost forced to pick a stream. You said.
yeah, yep.
You can you go undecided? Can you say, "Oh, I want to do both," or can you like switch between?
No, like, yeah, you can switch after 11th grade. Some people do,
Okay.
but they say it's a bit difficult when you switch. So most, like, preferably people don't do that.
Mhm.
And even if I'm studying science right now and I want to give law, so I have to like prepare for my CLAT exams separately. And
For
I like,
law, you said like lawmaking,
yeah, like lawyers, like, you give
like
LSAT,
lawyers. Yeah.
right? Yeah, so like we have clats for that, like exam. So I have to study separately for that. I can't, now if I'm doing science and if I want to do engineering, I do it with my school.
Hmm.
But if I want to do law with science, then I have to like study law separately on my own. I have to go for coaching classes or some classes like that. I have to go for tuitions.
Wow. So
Yeah.
you're interested in being possibly a lawyer, huh?
No, I'm not doing law. For now, I'm sticking with my SATs and I'm just going through my science stream because that is like in India, that's a stream which has a huge number of opportunities further,
Mm-hmm.
or mainly because I'm not interested in like any other subjects with commerce or arts.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Cool. So is I was gonna ask you like, is the cultural entrepreneurship field and how you've discovered it, is this common at all, or is this like really like a small minority of people that found what you're doing, like what you're the
It's
cultural
very rare.
entrepreneurship thing?
It's very rare. It's like,
It's
people
really rare.
really have to dig in if they want to, like, get into it. And I feel the main reason for this is because of the population, because, it's like the ratio to people abroad and here is very less. And there is like, usually, even in US or Europe, the exchange programs are usually within those two, continents, and they are like having Spain and all these. And even though we do have exchange programs here and stuff like that, it's usually after the 12th grade, after you graduate.
Yep.
So for my age to find out about such a, you know, thing is very
Opportunity.
rare. Yeah, it's very
Yes.
rare.
Gotcha. How do you like envision cultural entrepreneurship like helping and bettering all of us on a global scale, like a global standpoint?
Hmm. So, like, what I learned from the whole 1 month course was like, if we were given a, say, a project to work on with me and say 10 other members, and I have the experience of working with other people all over the world, I know more things than these guys know, right? So,
Hmm.
the way I think to make a thing, like, say, XYZ project, and I have to create something for, um, say, I need to create a product. So my point of view would be through all the people I have like talked to and all the cultures I know through. So if I say that, if if people here say that, um, let's just do this, but I know that this is not, the people abroad are like, no, this is not right, or it doesn't fit their cultural,
Hmm.
um, you know things and like their rules and stuff. So I would rather come up with something which is different and fits everybody than the people who know only about their religion and their culture.
Gotcha. So it's just like it allows everybody to think from their own cultural standpoint, and it
Mhm.
can help, like it can help better all of us. It teaches everybody
Yeah,
about new
so I can
things.
actually do something which is better for everyone rather than only for my community or the people from my cultural background.
Yep. I remember specifically like Olaf in the class, he said each person like based on like where you're from, you actually you will typically like discover a totally different like answer or like solution solution to
Hmm.
problems or to products. Like if you're trying to create a product, it might be totally different living in India versus living in America or Canada or like just all over the world.
It is. It's like, it's like there's so many assumptions that Indians think that all Americans are rich, which is not true, and Americans think that all Indians are poor, which is also not true.
Yeah, it's a lot of stereotypes, and it's good that you can like connect, especially in this day and age. You can connect and really get a good understanding of like what life is like for other people in other countries instead of just listening to your own stereotypes about other people.
Yeah. But now that like, people are opening up and actually, talking to different people, it's like it's
Yeah,
helping.
exactly. Like how many other people are doing what we are? Like we have
Yeah,
Zoom
exactly.
meetings and like we're meeting with other people from all over the world. I think it's amazing.
It
For
is.
sure. Do you said you mentioned you want to study abroad in the future. So do you want to, or do you see yourself like living in another part of the world, like in the near future, if
Mm-hmm.
possible?
I would love to, but it is like it depends because there are a lot of things when it comes to moving away from your parents, especially after
Mm-hmm.
living with them for like 17, 18 years.
17 years, yeah.
Yeah, and especially like, people do move out here in India after graduation if their college is in some other state or something. But moving like to another country is like completely different because it's like, there's so many things that uh, the way the things you eat, we don't eat. They're like
Mm-hmm.
all the basic things are like very different. So it depends that if in case I get into a good college and if I'm able to adjust in the first 2 3 years, I would stay there or hop onto another country and try out new things.
I love it. I love your willingness to just try all sorts of things, and your love for travel is super super cool. I love it as well. I love traveling, and I can definitely see myself studying abroad in the near future too. Um, so do you see yourself maybe as someone that creates their own product or business, entrepreneurial endeavor in the future?
Hmm. Well, maybe not in the next 4 5 years, but after that, yes, maybe hopefully if I
Gotcha.
get the opportunity to do something or an idea that would help people and is not there is no thing like that which exists in the world, then 100% I would dive in.
Awesome. Yeah. That is, we need people like you, and yeah, definitely. Anything else that you want to add, Vibha?
um, I really want this whole cultural thing to spread more because people are like so narrow minded nowadays that I don't, it's like either they are like into one of this category or one of that category, and people won't, see through both of them. And this thing helped me see through both of them. So I would like, encourage more people to
Yeah,
actually take part in such things.
for sure.
And especially
Uh,
that the whole course I did, the things we solved was together. Like, me and my partner, we solved it together. And we had completely different ideas and we mixed them up and then we came up with a solution, right? So that actually makes a huge difference than, doing it, individually or with
Yep,
the people.
yep. It's true. It's teamwork does make the dream work for sure. Well,
Mhm.
your passion for this is pretty infectious, and it's cool to see. And I'm glad that you are finding an interest in this area of life and study. So props to you
Yeah.
on that. So I think that's gonna wrap it up. Um, appreciate everyone for listening. Um, if you've listened to this point, you're a true fan of the podcast, so I appreciate it. Vibha, thank you for your time.
Thank
It
you.
was great talking to you, and we will stay in contact in the future.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right, awesome. Thank you.